Good morning, beautiful people, and happy Monday. I'm really excited for a Monday this week. So, as I was getting up and getting dressed this morning, I was thinking of the fact that we have just natural times in the way that we as humans, we as modern humans, kind of do beginnings and ends. So we have beginnings and ends throughout the course of the day. We have beginning and ends the week, the month, beginning of the workday, end of the workday, right? And how lovely that really is, because when we have natural beginnings and ends in our day that are just kind of rhythmic and just kind of part of the cycle, we have all these chances to kind of start anew, to bring new energy in, to re-engage in a different way, to bring a new portion of ourselves into the game, right? And I had a weekend that was a little rough, and ended up being a healing weekend. And my ego, sometimes thinks, okay, we're past the healing portion. We can jump into the creation portion. And in truth, obviously, two things happen simultaneously, right? Sometimes one's leading the way a little bit more than the other. And I needed to take a step back, and I needed to do some of the healing portion. And the healing portion isn't always easy. I know that. And I think that the reason I decided to say this in this video is because I want you to know, those of you who are in the depths of healing, you're doing hard work, you're doing important work, and I'm really excited that there are so many of you out there that are doing the work to heal so that you can show up as your best and authentic self. So I had a healing weekend, and it was rough. And at part of the weekend, I decided that my healing was going to be just to let myself feel sad. I'm one of those people who is a doer. I'm always out there trying to engage, and sometimes I override my emotions, which we know we shouldn't be doing. And I just chose to spend my Saturday allowing myself, for some reason, I still don't even know exactly all the reasons why, but I wanted to feel sad this weekend. So I allowed myself to feel that. And it was rough. And then there were some things that percolated where I had to address some stuff that was really needed to be excavated, because there was just a lot of garbage floating in my system that I had never taken care of. And it was blocking my true voice. It was blocking my true self, and it was blocking the ability that I had to connect with people authentically and thoroughly. So I am really excited for this Monday, because it's a chance to say, okay, there's a new cycle that's beginning, and I did some really hard work, and now I'm excited to see how I can engage in a new way, now that I'm at a more in alignment with my true and authentic self. So I hope that that helps those of you who are in the healing process to know that it is, everyone is going through this, right? And even though you may be doing mostly healing, you have these natural places where you can kind of re-engage in a new way. So that's what Mondays are all about for me, especially this week. So I'm going to tap into spirit, see what love energy has to guide us with this week, and see how we can kind of move forward together today with this message of unity and strength. So I'm going to tap into love energy and see what's coming through. So when I said the word strength, that wasn't something my brain had planned. It just came through naturally. So I knew before I even tapped in that was going to be part of the message. I knew that it was spirit already tapping in. And what they're showing me, so the first thing I'm getting this message is just a visual. And it's ants carrying just objects that are larger than their body, right? We all know when we were in elementary school, or when we watched Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, or things like that, the ants can carry extreme objects that are extremely heavier than their body weight. And what they're showing me is a colony of ants. And the message that's coming through with that is their strength in numbers, right? And it's this message of again, there's strength in numbers. And the more that we are connecting with each other, the more that we are being vulnerable and speaking about what I just spoke about those points when life isn't easy, when we're still engaged, we're still full of faith, we're still full of hope, we're still full of excitement for what comes next and what we're capable of, but we're also dealing with those hard emotions, right? We're dealing with those emotions that don't feel comfortable, that don't feel inspiring, that can make us feel a little heavier, that can kind of freeze us for a moment. Because this weekend, I was a little frozen for a day. And if we're speaking about that more openly and authentically, there's a couple different things that happen. First thing that happens is we have people around us to support us. So message number one, if you're having a hard time, if you're dealing with emotions that are just bogging you down, if you are dealing with emotions that make you confused about what your next steps are, if you're dealing with situations where you have racked your brain a million times, how do I get out of this? How do I shift this? How do I problem solve this? And you can't figure it out. They're saying, find your family. And even if it isn't your biological family, reach out to your chosen family. Let people who are in your life know that you are less than perfect and you're not able to carry the weight of the world on your own. Express that. Say that. That doesn't mean that you're a Debbie Downer. That doesn't mean you're a party pooper. That doesn't mean that you're someone that isn't strong and capable. And that doesn't even mean that you are not a leader. It just means that you are being authentic and you are trying to find strength in numbers, because you are not meant to carry the weight of this moment alone. You are not meant to bear the burden of this moment alone. Even if you are a light worker, even if you are a change maker, you are meant to find strength and safety in numbers. That word is coming through very clearly too, and very slowly. They're saying strength and safety in numbers. There are times when we're going through and doing this work, whether it's our own self-healing work, whether it's community healing work, whether it's world community work, where we are full of faith, we're full of light, we have our connection to our guides, we have our connections to source, we have our connections to beautiful people in this world, but there's still going to be a moment of us feeling a little unsafe and uncertain and unsure. And there are parts of the collective where it's like, oh, you must not be actually faithful if you can't trust in spirit to keep you safe, if your connections to spirit are not enough for you. And they're saying, hello world, like there is divinity and there's an essence of spirit, an essence of created or essence of God in every single human on this planet. Yes, some humans that is buried by so much muck and guck you can't find it, but there is divinity in all humans, and there are many humans where it's actually to the surface where you can engage with it. So reach out to those humans, because that is God supporting you, that is creator supporting you, that is spirit supporting you. Spirit is just not in the ethereal. Spirit is actually embodied here on this planet in the physical. So reach out, connect, and that is another way of trusting spirit to support you. So there's strength and safety in expressing where you're at. It also is very inspiring to let other people know that they're not struggling alone. When someone can walk through the world and say, yep, I am in this moment of change, I am bringing more light and love in the world, but I can't do it alone, that makes people feel like, hey, this person, not perfect, not absolutely 100% embodied at this moment, but if they can do it, maybe I can start walking the walk a little bit too. I don't have to be perfect to do this. I can have bad days to do this and still do this. And it's inspirational. So that's really important. And then the other important part is, like, we are not meant to heal alone. There are so many ceremonies that Spirit gave us that existed before the pre-industrial world, and they still exist in many portions of the world, just not in the modern day world that I'm living in and most of you are living in who are watching this video. And those ceremonies were really about helping people to release, helping people to release the energy, release the stories, release the experiences, release the trauma that is blocking their light, and ceremonies to bring in more light, to bring in more authenticity, to bring in more support, right? And that was always done in community because it was so important to witness people letting go and opening up. And it was so important to people to say, I recognize the pain that you are going through, what happened to you, what is happening to you, the story that you are carrying is not worthy of you. You are worthy than more of this. You have divinity, you have dignity, and we are witnessing and saying we also agree as a community that what you have been given was unfair, and now we're here to rewrite your story together in community. So there's strength in numbers for many, many reasons. A lot of it has to do with we're just not built to completely heal everything in isolation. In a lot of ways, it's not possible. That being said, I know there are a lot of people who are watching this video, and this is coming from Spirit, that are healing in isolation right now, right? Either there are not safe people around you because the people around you are so covered in muck, and that light is really hard to reach and very rarely, if ever, comes to the surface. Those are not safe people to be in ceremony with. Those are not safe people to open up and be vulnerable with. And Spirit is saying, I know that. And they're saying, until you are able to make the shift to reach out to strangers, which they're saying they know is terrifying. The fact of letting anyone in when you are feeling that vulnerable is terrifying. But they're saying there are beautiful, beautiful souls on this planet who are stationed and ready for you to reach out and say, I need help. I need community. I need connection. And that's happening in a lot of ways. It's happening in formal ways. There are organizations that are meant to just help support people in those transitions from a toxic space to a non-toxic space. There are teachers, there are counselors that are meant to help for the same thing. And then there are just, if it's not as toxic that you need that type of support, there are community groups and organizations and people and light workers who are looking for their community and looking for their people just like you are. So take a chance, be brave, let your intuition lead you to community events, to events at your local library, to picnics in the park, to movie nights in the park. Those types of things, if you're listening to your intuition, are going to lead you to your people. But if you are not there yet, they're saying the other thing you can do that can support you in the other part of reality that can support you in release work, in healing work, that can hear your stories, that can say, oh, I know that you're having a hard time, is Mother Nature. There is something that is actually very, very true and deep and wise about this concept of go touch grass, right? Go outside and relate to Mother Earth. Let yourself feel yourself touching the soil. Sit and listen to the birds, watch the clouds, and just like help ground your nervous system there. And what they're saying right now is Mother Earth, she is active. She is aware. She is witnessing you. She is cradling you. If you feel like Mother Earth is supporting you and bringing you beauty when you're out on a walk, when you're lying in your yard looking up at the clouds, it's because it's really happening. She is reaching out to you. So if you are not able to find your people yet in this world, and they are not able to help give you strength because of the numbers, Mother Earth is every blade of grass. Mother Earth is every beautiful stone in a riverbed. Mother Earth is every bird in the sky. There's strength in those numbers too. So if you are not able to find strength right now in community, you are able to find strength in every blade of grass. I'm going to leave that with you with love and light.